is relationships. So, the reason I kind of put this is, and there's a lot of levels to this, and we didn't talk about this beforehand, so you might come at it from a different angle. But one of the reasons I put this is, as Sunday school leaders, kids, for the most part, cannot benefit us. They can't,
Right.
so we can, even in youth, maybe, we can, it can make us feel good if we get a compliment from a young person or something.
Right.
As a kid, compliments, it doesn't have quite the impact, as a preacher complimenting you, to show an extreme example. But I think that how we treat kids on a regular basis, and what did I put? I put it vividly displays how we regularly, or it vividly displays our character. And so I'm going to call out, we talk about him all the time, but our good friend, Brother Booker, Brother Philip Booker, he is, I think, the epitome of this. Kids love him because he loves kids.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, he comes here usually once a year, and when we do the eating time, he's sitting right with the kids. He's joking and fooling around with them. I mean, they love it. And so that's, I think, shows a true character.
Oh, yeah. We see a good example of this in Luke chapter 6, when Jesus is speaking, and he says in Luke 6:32, "For if you love them which love you, what thank have ye? For sinners also love those that love them. And if you do good to them which do good to you, what thank have ye? For sinners also do even the same. And if you lend to them of whom you hope to receive, what thank have ye? For sinners also lend to sinners to receive as much again. But love ye your enemies, and do good and lend, hoping for nothing again. And your reward shall be great, and ye shall be the children of the highest, for he is kind unto the unthankful and to the evil." So Jesus is saying it's not just about doing to others so you can get back from
So you can get
them.
back. Yeah, receive
It's not
something.
just about giving love to those that you're going to receive love from, nor being good to those that do good to you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you benefit from that at all.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the thing about our relationships. It should not always be about what can I get out of this.
Yeah,
In fact,
exactly.
it's more like what can I give?
What can I give?
Like the Bible says it's better to give than to receive.
Yeah.
And that goes into so many areas, but especially in relationships. Now, I mean, you don't want to be in relationships that are causing you to go in the negative direction. You don't want to be around a lot of people that are causing you to pull you down or anything like that. But
Right.
These relationships we have, like you were mentioning with the kids, we have a relationship with them not because they're benefiting us in any way, but because we want to see them grow and to see them benefit from the relationship we're giving them. Some of these kids don't have an example of a father or a mother that they can look up to, that come off of the bus especially, or they aren't taught the Bible at all. I mean, and so when they come here, they have people that they can receive actual love from.
Yeah.
Love being showing you care and concern without any worry whether you're going to give back to me.
Yeah, not what they see every day as this is quote unquote love.
Yep. And so that's the benefits for them. I mean, if you lose track of what it's all about in Sunday school, what are you doing it for? It's all about the kids.
Yeah.
It's all about them being closer to God, and for some of them, it's about giving them some peace and some joy and some happiness, even if it's only for an hour.
Yeah.
I tell my kids this all the time. I said, you guys have it so good, and you think that things are just so terrible sometimes, but look at those kids that come off the bus. I said that hour and 45 minutes or however long they're with us at the church, from the time they show up to the time they go home, that might be the only time that they're happy and feeling peace and quiet the whole week.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know. I mean, so many of these kids come out of such environments that, our kids are so blessed.
Yeah.
And we want to make the biggest impact that we can on their lives when they're here. And so if we're not developing those relationships, if we're not giving and showing that love, then we're wasting our time.
Right.
We're not reaching them at all.
Another thing I just thought about is like some weeks they might have a hard time, like, oh, I don't feel like going. But if they develop that relationship with you, sometimes, right or wrong, they want to come just to be able to see you again.
Yeah.
And so if they can at least come for those weeks, because we know all of us have been in those places to where we don't really feel like going to church that night. But because we have a good relationship with God, we go because we want to see him.
Right.
We may not feel like going, but that's that relationship that brings us back. And so, on a lower level, obviously, but sometimes when we have these good relationship with these kids, that's what brings them back for that particular week because they're having a hard time. And they're like, I don't really want to go, but I really like seeing Brother Gabe.
Yeah, right.
Or I really like seeing Brother Kyle, and I want to see them again because I like that relationship. So that's another thing to remember is like that relationship you have with these kids is so powerful and has so much impact on them. I think sometimes we don't even realize the impact that we're actually having on these kids.
Yeah, well, and to talk about the characterized by is there are times when we have to get on to a kid, right?
Oh, yeah.
But if we are characterized by that I love you, if we're characterized by that, and so, yeah, I had to get on to you today and it didn't feel good and you don't like it and now you want to go home. But yet they remember that's not what they remember all the way. They remember what you're characterized by. And then on the flip side, we could say like, oh, I gave a kid a hug today, or whatever. And oh, good on me, pat ourselves on the back. But that's the only time, that you showed that love. Mm-hmm. And so what is it that you're characterized by? What do you do consistently? Right. And it comes out of those relationships. It's displayed in those relationships.
This just happened today in Sunday school. One of the young men acting a little bit crazy, and he got sent to the back here.
Uh-oh.
My brother-in-law broke the fourth wall and said, hey, you got to go to the back because he's acting out of control. So I went to the back, and I said, hey, we can't be acting that way. I just looked at him right in the face, and I have a serious look on my face, I guess I've been told. But right after that, he got reprimanded. Then I gave him a hug and said, hey, we just want to be up here and want to get involved with God. And right after that was an altar call. So I went up with him and then, pray with him up there. And so he might have been a little bit hurt by the fact that he got reprimanded by me, but at the end of the day, I gave him a hug, and then we went up there and we prayed together, and that's probably more what he's going to remember than anything.
Right, yeah, exactly.